mansion somewhere. You've always wanted to know how he got that mansion, and he doesn't seem to work anymore. And how does he manage to have all this money and doesn't seem to work and does whatever he wants? Think of me as that guy, right? So now, those questions, those debates we used to have whether or not I'm in a trade and whether or not if I'm in it makes it like qualified for for you to want to buy it. Maybe you don't know the history of my career. Chances are, right? The joke is, chances are you don't want me in your stock, right? As a matter of fact, you probably don't even want me trading. You want me doing my job. What's my job? Being your rich uncle, telling you and teaching you how I got to where I am today. Do you care if your rich uncle is participating in these trades? As long as he keeps feeding you this information and you're making money, right? I'm just seriously, they're just by the cues, right? And what's crazy, right? The short that worked twice. I did it live. The second one was live. There are moments where you can short, make money, and talk about it. But you're starting to see what I'm trying to been saying for the last since you met me in 2007. There's no point, right? Shorting is short lived and you're going to die. You're going to lose inevitably. So, my son, early in let's say his career is 7 days old, he's like, I'm doing much better when I'm not thinking about shorting anything. I'm just staying on the buy side and looking for the pullbacks and the VWAP breaks. Good. You could do this without shorting. And the reason I'm mentioning this is that I've actually gotten emails, and a lot of emails where I don't know if I want to stay in a chat room all day. You don't got to stay in a chat room all day. But one of the other emails is that I'm uncomfortable. Somebody said, many people have said, I'm uncomfortable shorting. I don't understand it. And all I've heard is shorting is extremely risky, right? And you're right. You're right. Especially in a market that never goes down, right? Hey, what's up? So we understand shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. It's almost pointless. So if you just cross shorting off right now, which you should, because let's see, core weave was all right, but you had to pay for the short. It worked. The QQQ short was okay, and the HIM short was all right, right? Who are you people? Like, what is this about? What is this about? My name's Kenny Glick, and I'm the godfather and the grandfather of day trading on YouTube. I've been doing this since the day YouTube was unleashed. And what's this about? This is me recapping what the day you missed and how much money you should have made today. Why can't it gap down 80%? If you ever walk in with the market down 80%, I'll personally give you $50,000 cash. You'd have to come and get it. I'm not going to pay for your travel expenses. But if we ever gap down 80%, that's an 8, right? 80%, I will personally give you $50,000 cash. Cash. That's why. That would mean the end of humanity. 80% gap down. And also, we don't have gap downs anymore because the market's open 24/7. So it really actually wouldn't be a gap down. It'd be you awake to the market being down 80%. There's no such thing as a gap down anymore. It's almost live trading 24/7 on the queues. So there's always some sort of liquidity out there. But more importantly, we did 107 trades today, right? 107 trades. 106 and a half worked today. The only half trade that didn't work was selling some of the slide for a loss because it's so illiquid. So if you guys did you watch the midday show? It was supposed to be beamed onto my channel as well as the stock market media channel, stock market TV, stock market media. Hopefully that worked today. So let me give a nice heartfelt shout out to my friend who said, not my friend, I'm just joking, Chief Pal, somebody trying to explain to me why CoreWeave was a really good short at 80 bucks and why ASTS wasn't about to go to 50 bucks. Cool. Oh, it's at 50 bucks. You know where it's going now? 80. You know where it's going to go after 80? 120. And then when it breaks 120, it goes to 150. And then 180. Then 250. Then 1,000. Might have to wait for it to get to 1,000, but if you buy stock at 33.50 with a $50 target and it gets there in 2 weeks, you generally want to sell. Not all of it. You sell 20% here because why would you sell it all on its way to 80? But now that we got to 50 rather quickly, more quickly than I thought, we might start tacking on 10, 12, 15-point days. You might just get a 30-point day tomorrow knowing this market. But if you're a prudent investor, if you're somewhat in tune, there's something called profit taking and there's something called making money, and you can't make money if you don't sell any of it. So you sell a little bit here on its way to 80, but there's no reason not to be in the stock, and now you raise your stop. Now that you're in the 50s, it's either you sell the rest at 39.08 or you never sell now. That's it. So now if you don't think we're going to 80, it might take a week or two to get to 80. Maybe go up tomorrow. I don't know. That doesn't matter anymore because you've sold some on the way up to 50. You sold some today at 50. So now you're only selling it, and this is how you swing trade. You're only selling it now as it breaks below the breakout price was 39.08. So if it's above 39.08, you still own it. That's it. It could go between $50 and 41 for the next 6 months. But if it doesn't break 39.08, you better still be in it. And that's it. And it's just this is beyond the greatest trading environment I've ever seen in my life. Beyond. Because your ideas get confirmed. You get to trade both sides of the market almost every day. Even ASTS was a short at one point today when it rolled over a little bit, and then a faux show broad, and you buy it back and you go long. But I think I'm just going to leave my commentary for the midday. So I'm going to be doing a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and probably Thursday. The schmooze is done. I'm not going to be getting together at night anymore unless there's something vital going on. I might retool the schmooze and launch it some other time, but I'm kind of tired of the Thursday night thing. And there's plenty of content during the day. So I hope you all held on to some of these stocks, and it's just unbelievable how we just never go down. And look, maybe we go down, but the way that I do it is first look outside, right? See if there's a nuclear cloud coming your way. Well, first of all, you see if the sun came up. If the sun came up, it's bullish. When you inhale that substance that fills your lungs, if that's still there, bullish. Until something else happens. Because have I mentioned that we're in a power gap? 2 mini gaps and a power gap from May 11th. Right? Has anything changed? No. But nothing will change. So again, I think and I'm being serious here. I think the market's about to double. I'm talking 80,000 Dow. I don't know what the spies are at, but I'm talking about 1,100, 1,200 on the Qs. Like short term, like parabolic, melt your face off, up 5% a day for like 18 straight weeks. And next thing you know, the Qs will be flirting with, 750. And then remember, the higher prices, the higher it goes, the easier it is to keep going with bigger chunks. Remember, 700%, when the Qs hit 700 by next Friday, tacking on another 10% gets us to 770, right? So that 770, right? When we tack on another 20% from there, right? So just do the math. So when we get to all-time highs, probably by tonight, and then we got, so let's do some math, right? It's very simple, right? The market started a new bull market. We started a new bull market on April 9th, right? We rallied, first 30%. Everybody missed the first 30%. So now everybody's going to chase the next 30%. So a new bull market began May 11th. Power gap, right? So do the math. Let's do the math together. Let me see. So power gapping, we power gapped on 508. So now 508, we power gapped. So now we have to tack on 20% on top of the 508. So 508 plus 20% equals 609, which is where we're going right now. But that's just going to be a nice place to consolidate. Once we get to 609, right, we consolidate there, and then we tack on another 30%, right? So 30% plus another 30%. So let's factor in 609. Let's go 609.60 by Christmas. Easy, 609, 610. But now we're refreshing. So now January 1st, 2026, say we're flirting with 610, 611. Next year we go up 30%. That gets us to 800, right? That's 800, 792 and change. And that's 18 months from now. So once we're at the 800, then that's when we start tacking it on for real. 30 more percent on top of that gets you what? 1,040, which is where we're going to be, which is basically 100% from here. So, like I said, why would you short? And again, if you're a day trader, sure, you want to pick your spots like I did today, short the Qs, make a couple of points on the downside, great. It's almost irresponsible, irrelevant, and just a waste of time. Because every dip's a buy. You might as well just keep crushing on the upside. And I'm looking at, and here's what I'm looking at. So I don't know if you could see this or not, but I'll show it to you. The way I'm looking at it, right, is the Qs are going to be what? At least 800 within a couple of years. At least, right? So I'm looking at the longest dated options. And all dates, all prices. So let's go all the way out. Let's say we're talking about 2027, right? The furthest you can go out right now is 2027, late 2027. So 26, that's 25 is the end of this year. By then we'll be 600. And then what we say, by January next year will be not 800. And then by 2027, so you figure the 800, so you want to buy 650s for 40, that's 700. 795 is the highest you go. We'll be there. December 17th, 795, these will be trading. This is where we'll be. So I'm thinking about doing just a massive call spread and putting my life savings on it, considering we might be at 1,000 by then. I'll be getting called out. But you could put up, let's say, I'd buy the these were fairly priced, the 600s. So basically, let's go at the money. So if you're buying a 535, you're paying $100 so it's $100 of time and premium. 100. Is that worth it? I think it is. So the 530 to get your cost average of 630 will definitely be there. But you're paying $100, so you better take in some premium. Yeah, so I'm thinking about going in the money. In the money's smarter. I'm at a 530. We get these for, let's say, 100 or anything less than 100. 530, 630. We'll sell some, and then we'll just sell, a couple of these against the ones we paid 100 for, and then just sit and wait. Because I think by December 27th, by December 17th, 2027, the Qs legitimately should be about 1,040, and that's being conservative. That's only tacking on 10% from here, 20% next year, and then having a little a rip your face off 30% or the following year. That gets us to 1040. Right? I mean, just math. The market is broken, right? And when people say the market's broken, it's rigged and manipulated. And people think those are bad terms. The market's broken. It only goes up. The market's rigged. Yes, to only go up. The market's manipulated. Yes, to go up. Most people are dying for reasons to sell. You don't need to be manipulated into selling. They need to manipulate you to believing that the market only goes up. But now, it only goes up. So now you just witnessed how what I was trying to tell you for the last 6 weeks is no matter what they do, whatever they say, it's priced in. The only thing not priced in, and now we got pandemics priced in, right? We got Iran, Israel, rocket ships. Now we got U.S., Iran conflicts. It's priced in. The only thing not priced in, right, and obviously nobody wants this to have happen, the only thing not priced in is a dirty bomb or a nuke going off on American soil. If it goes off somewhere else, oh, wow, that's troubling. We might go down that day, but inevitably we won't care, right? So what does the market care about? Fraud. That's it. And sometimes not even fraud, because obviously Nicola took a while for them to realize that was a fraudulent company. But HIMS. See, HIMS, now you have theoretical, I guess, I don't know what theoretical proof is, but because now you have a company that had a partner. If there's $1 million, $2 million in the bag on the table when I wake, I know I have a partner. If it's not, I know I don't. Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. What was I saying? Oh, right. Fraud. So, as if this is, see, Michael wanted to get in with Hyman Roth to see what was going on. Like, Gecko was trying to buy enough Teldar paper so he can get behind the scenes to see if the books were being cooked, or whatever it was. So here in this situation, the people from Wegovy, I think it was, or Novo Disco, I don't know, one of the companies that HIMS distributes, they didn't like what they saw. So this is firsthand. This isn't rumor anymore. The company that they were getting into business with said, yeah, you know what? We don't really like what we're seeing here. We're gonna back away. That's a red flag, right? And as I've been saying, this company is a scam anyway, run by terrorists, right? Selling fake pills that don't work. I didn't grow any hair, and my wife was not impressed with the other pill either. Well, my wife's not impressed about any of that stuff because she's asexual. But that's a different story for a different day. This is a scam. And that's the kind of stock that actually, I'm not going to say should go down tomorrow, because anytime a stock goes down 35%, the buyers show up the next day and it bounces and the algorithms kick in. The algos don't know that HIMS is a scam company that's going out of business and it's going to zero. On the way to zero, probably bounced 30%, a couple dimes on the way there, if it ever goes to zero, in fact. But other than that, if it's not a nuclear fallout headed this way, it has to be blatant, provable fraud to make a stock go down at this point. And that's it. Or, I was going to say, or your drug kills people, but it has to kill enough people. Like, you kill one or two people with your drug, nobody cares. You kill a group of people, and then you got something. So, fraud and your drug kills a lot of people. And that's the thing about the nuclear blast, right? Let's say there is a nuclear blast. I mean, imagine, we would all be freaking out, no doubt. But let's say it happens in a remote area, right? Well, let's say not so remote. Let's say only 16,000 people get killed, right? Is that a big enough number for the market to go down? 16,000? There's 360 million people in America. It's really not a big deal, right? We'll forget, just like we forgot 9/11, right? You got people in this country waving flags of terrorist organizations and terrorist countries in this country. You think we're going to... So a nuke goes off, 16,000 people get killed, right? How long will it take for us to forget? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? A month? Right? We'll be waving flags from the country that nuked us. Oh, come on. They're just misunderstood. So it's a crazy time, because everything that you think would make the market go down doesn't, because nothing does. And that's why it's so important to realize not only the power gap, but when we do have a sell-off, it has to be a nameless sell-off. We're not going to go down on news. News is priced in. When the market starts to go down and you're looking for why, I don't see anything in the news. No analysts, and no JP Morgan commentary from Charlie. Nothing. Yeah, we're just going down. That's when it'll be different. That's called an organic sell-off, when we're going down because the algorithms who control the market have hit the sell button. Not gap down on bullshit World War III starting. That's a buy opportunity, as everything is. Be careful out there, my friends, especially if you're trying to short the market. It really doesn't work. And if you are going to short, make sure you know exactly what you're doing with a fast enough prop, good enough platform. And if you're still going to doubt ASTS, what's to doubt it? It was a year-long consolidation, 17 faux show bros, and a year-long consolidation finally broke all-time highs. Did you think the stock was going to go up like $2? It's about to double. 39.08 times 2 is roughly $80. That's where it's going. Because if you don't know now, maybe you do now, maybe you're finally starting to catch on. When stocks break out, they just don't go up. They double. And then they triple and they quadruple. In what used to take years, if not decades, happens in weeks now. There's no such thing as a bear market. There are no sellers. The market never goes down. And when you have a stock that's breaking out, you should expect it to double within a few weeks when it breaks out. So 39 broke out, what was that, a couple of weeks ago? I'm expecting the stock to double, because that's what stocks do now. They go up hundreds of %, because that's how the market works now. Maybe the market will go back to some sort of normalization, but what is normal? This is now the new normal, as the kids say, if they do say that. Now, I'm not saying this time is different. I'm saying this is how it works, right? This is an evolution. Now stocks don't go down anymore. We're in a new type of, this is a new market. It's brand new, unprecedented, as they like to say. And this unprecedented nature of the market is super bullish, right? Wait till you see when we really start going up. When we start tacking on 3% and 5% days, it becomes the norm. And badoof, bang, 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 bang. And we're at 650 on the Qs, and you're still debating whether or not it's a bull market or bear market or safe to get in. Good luck. So back to the idea of you trade, you get some money, and you put that money to work. Don't take it, money doesn't come out of the market. So if you made money shorting the Qs, what'd you do with it? You bought ASTS with it. That's right. You made money trading Slide today. What'd you do with that money? Yes, you bought more SRAT. So you use the house money to buy more money, to buy more. Now, inevitably, ASTS is not going to be a great buy anymore. But at this point, you got to be thinking 80 bucks. So you're risking 11 to make 30. Sounds good to me. By the way, the Qs will probably be up 12 or 15 points tomorrow. We're up all-time highs are still right there. Once we break all-time highs, that's when we're going to start going up for real. I'm talking about 3%, 5%. And that's why the Qs, if you don't think we're going to attack on 70, 80 points from here, it's going to be so fast. And it's just this is the way it is.